Right.
Smoothie money.
Well, I appreciate everybody being here. Just kind of recapping the weekend, I thought it's a real quality win to go to Middle Tennessee and play a really quality program, well-coached team with really good players on the road. We knew when we saw that on the schedule it was going to be a challenge, and it certainly was. I think being down at halftime and having to come back in the third quarter and make plays as a team was really important for us. The drives that we had offensively in the third quarter were really impressive. And then the big defensive stop and with the on the reverse and knocking the ball out by Newer Gatooth and then having Muhammad carry that in for the score just was really shows what we're capable as a team, just fighting and continue to play hard and to make the plays that need to be made to win the game. And then we had to finish it out in the situation. We were trying to be smart with the clock offensively, and then our defense had to be in a similar situation that we were a week ago and handle the 2-minute drill better. So a lot of great things. We had a lot of backup players make really significant contributions in the game. Giles Pueller was outstanding on the fake field goal. Just really proud of him. He's a guy that, as a backup quarterback, you always have to stay ready. You always have to stay prepared. And that was a significant play in the game, really helped us win the game. Van Shield came in at running back. Avery got banged up, and so did Kobe Johnson. And Van, had a great spring, really kind of carried the load for us in the spring at running back and really gave us some significant plays to help us kind of finish that game. We had a lot of young guys played. TJ Crandall played on defense, and Kennedy McDowell played. We're going to start playing some young receivers, and we just feel like it's that time of year we need to integrate some of these freshmen that really have talent that can help us. So really proud of our effort. Now we get to play our last non-conference game this week, Utah Tech. Another talented team with a lot of firepower offensively. This is an air raid team. They throw the ball over the lot. They're very capable of scoring points. And, we've seen several of those teams already in a non-conference. Seems like every week we play somebody that's capable of scoring points and throwing the football. So we're going to have to do a really good job of handling them offensively. Defensively, they're more of a 4-down team, pretty conventional coverages. Very different than a week ago. Last week I was really proud of Braden Fowler Nicolosi and the way he handled the pressure from Middle Tennessee. They blitzed us about every snap, and for him not to turn the ball over, he had one turnover that really was something that we could have avoided, but I was really proud of Braden and how he handled himself on the road in a tough environment. Little different game this week, not nearly the pressure that we saw last week, the blitzes, more conventional coverages. But again, a talented team coming here. For us, it's more about how we prepare and play. I want our kids to start to understand that, regardless of who we play, what team, if they're ranked, they're not ranked, we have to prepare and get ourselves to play our best football every Saturday. And it's important that we learn that lesson, and this is a big week for us to do that, to come home. It's Aggie Day. We're excited about that, wearing orange jerseys and celebrating our history and our past. We'll have a lot of people on campus and a lot of people at this game, and we want to play well. Last 4 years, the FCS teams come in here and won, beat Colorado State, and we haven't been 2-2, I don't think, since 2017. Last time CSU went to a bowl game. So this is an important game for us. We need to play really well at home, and this is an important game for us to reach our goals.
Obviously, getting the win was important, but when you look at the way you won and the way the game played out, for you as a coaching staff, what was the biggest gain for this team from that weekend?
Yeah, I think we were prepared to play a game like that, we talked about it all week. We had a lot of respect for Middle Tennessee and the way that they are coached and their history of their program. And, a lot of teams, they're going to beat a lot of football teams, and a lot of teams have gone in there and not won. And so we were prepared for that. I think it was important that we won a hard game, that we had to rely on each other, offensive, defensively, and special teams. I mean, there were critical big plays in all three phases that needed to be made to win that game. If we don't get the fake, we don't win. If we don't get the turnover at the end, it's tough for us to win. And then I thought the drives in the third quarter were really critical and important. And, we would have loved to kept the ball offensively at the end of the game, but we still knocked off a bunch of time and made it more difficult for them to score. So, we want to play complementary football. With these new clock rules, it affects the game, with the running clock. So we just have to be mindful of that. I thought Braden did a pretty good job of handling that. Here's a kid that he's a freshman. I mean, we got him for 4 more years, and he's done some pretty special things the last 2 weeks. And I know we got several kids that are some of the national leaders, or among the national leaders statistically, because of the production the last 2 weeks since Braden's been playing. So he's got a lot of football in front of him. He learns every time he goes on the field. But I thought he did a great job of protecting the ball last week.
You talked about Victory Monday. You told the team you haven't done one in a
Our
while.
kids don't even know what Victory Monday is.
So I was curious, where did that develop for you, and why did this team earn a Victory Monday?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an NFL thing, and we've done it at different programs. We practice on Mondays. That's the routine that we have. We had a tough couple weeks. It was, we got back late. We had an emotional in-state rivalry game against CU. We got back late. Most people didn't get any sleep last Saturday night. And it was a draining game, with all the things that happened off the field with our kids. Just a lot of distractions, and then we had to come empty our tanks again against Middle Tennessee, and I just thought it was a good time. We had all 3 of our receivers were sick all last week, Torrey, Justice, and Lewis Brown. Torrey didn't practice the whole week last week, and so they were gassed in that game. They tried to run and give everything they had, but, we had to sub for them, and I was really proud of their effort. Moe was banged up. We just had a lot of guys that went through a lot physically, so I just felt like it was a good time to do it. And we'll look at the situation and decide moving forward if we'll do it again. But everybody just needed a couple more hours of sleep this morning, get refreshed, and be ready to go tomorrow.
Speaking of Moe, banged up, missed the first half with a suspension, still finds a way to make a pretty huge impact. What are you seeing week to week of him just finding different ways to impact these games?
I just think he's so relentless, and we talk a lot about the energy. We use Georgia as an example. When you have to come out and have that energy every week, and you have to find it. And you got to be mindful during the week about your rest and recovery. But when Saturday comes, man, you got to be ready to empty your tank. And Moe gives great effort every day. He's relentless. He's a leader by example, and he's playing like it. I've heard from a lot of pro scouts that I know well, and they're very impressed with the way that he plays. And to be a guy that's draftable in the National Football League, they should be able to put on any film and see how hard you play, and that you're playing at a different level. And Moe's becoming that kind of guy, and he does it in practice. So he's one of our leaders. He's a captain, and he's been doing a great job. I think he's really grown as a leader as well, and that example, he really takes it to heart.
And Newer is coming on as well. How much is the Moe impact, both on the field and off the field for him?
I think Moe's been great for Newer, just showing him how to practice every day. We got some great examples. Some of our captains, Mo Camara, Torrey Horton, those guys go out and practice with great effort, and they're great examples to our younger players. And so, that's when I start to smile, and, I just kind of step out of the way and let those guys show by example how things are supposed to be done.
How are the running backs, Avery and Kobe?
they're banged up. We don't have any announcements yet on Avery. And then Kobe's got a little bit of a back, and so they're banged up. And it's that time of year where guys start getting banged up a little bit. So we'll just see. Van did a really nice job coming in for them. We got some good young guys, and they're going to have to be ready to play. Damian Henderson and Kobe Johnson and all those guys, or KJ, Edwards. And so, we got some good backs. They're going to have to be prepared and ready to play.
If Van does need to come in and carry some of the load, what was it about his spring camp that really impressed you and makes you confident?
Just durable and consistent. He carries the ball with some physicality, and he's dependable. You know what you're going to get from Van. So much a part of our game is understanding protections and being able to pick up blitzes. And so Van's just a team guy. Whatever the team needs, he's prepared and ready to do it. And, I know he's going to be ready if we need him.
If your running room is a little shallow, Dallin Hogan, he had 79 yards after the catch. Is he kind of someone who's able to maybe supplement kind of some of that gain when you're in those short field situations?
Yeah, I was really proud of our guys in our passing game, and really Braden. We challenged Braden. When you play a team that blitzes as much as Middle Tennessee does, you got to get the ball out quick to open receivers and then let them run. I don't have the number, but I would imagine we had about 200 yards after the catch between Dallin and Torrey and all the receivers. Justice had a long catch and run. So that was the key to the game, was getting the ball out quickly because of the blitz. And I really give Braden a lot of credit. But Dallin Hogan is a special player. He just is. I've been around a lot of good receivers and good tight ends, I can't really say another quality I'd like to see in him. He's really smart. He's got a great feel for the passing game. He's in great condition. I don't think he came off the field Saturday night, and he takes great care of himself. He's a real leader, and being a pro. These kids are amateurs, but he does everything right, and he's a great example to his teammates. And he talks to guys about how they should recover, how they should get sleep. All the things that you would like a mature player to do. An example, Dallin is it, and I wouldn't trade him for any tight end in the country.
Jay, it's been 3 weeks with Jordan at kicker. What have you been pleased with so far with him, and just do you feel like he's just provided some comfort for you after last year, the struggles you guys had at that position?
No, I have a lot of confidence in Jordan and Patty both, and I think we have quality specialists. Jordan is just consistent. The big thing from your kicker, you want consistency. You want to know that when your team needs points in the red zone, that he's going to get the job done for you. And he's been that way in practice. I like specialists that are football players. Guys that know they have a responsibility to their teammates and they do their job. And that's the way Jordan is. He's a real competitive guy, and he's dependable. And so is Patty, and I think they're a great combination together. But I know that we get in those situations and the game's tight, that Jordan is capable of making those kicks.
With how many people were watching the CU game a week ago, it seemed like a lot of people were realizing that you guys do have a 31-year-old kicker. What is that kind of like when he gets kind of the attention for just what he's been able to do and what he's doing here for you guys?
Yeah, it's unusual. We have an unusual team. As far as our roster's concerned, and we just kind of relish that diversity. I'm a big believer when you have different kids from different places and you have a diverse staff and a team, you kind of have a different way of problem solving. People look at problems differently, and we have one of the few female equipment managers, and she does things differently than some of her counterparts do. And we have a female in our weight room, and Hope does an amazing job with our athletes, and our athletes really respect and appreciate her. We just got, we got kids from Germany, we got kids from Japan, we got sumo wrestler from Japan. We got a very diverse team and staff, and so I think when you put all that together, it kind of makes something special. And Jordan is no different. Having that maturity. He's married. He's got 3 kids. He's 31 years old. Dallin's married. Oliver Jervis is married. So we kind of went from a very young roster to a much more mature roster, which is really important for us.
Good. Thank you, Jay.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Jim.